48C, and we're talking about Mexico. Number 20, 1810 AD. Father Miguel de Hidalgo led the rebellion against the Spanish in Mexico. Mexico was the largest and richest Spanish colony in the Americas. Father Hidalgo was executed in 1811. Creoles feared his appeal among the Amerindians. And Father Hidalgo writes very eloquently in the Cry of Dolores speech, "My children, a new dispensation comes to us today. Will you receive it? Will you free yourselves? Will you recover the land stolen 300 years ago from your forefathers by the hated Spaniards? We must act at once. Will you defend your religion and your rights as true patriots? Long live Our Lady of Guadalupe. Death to bad government. Death to the Gachupines," which was slang for Peninsulares. This guy, who is not a fake prehistoric guy because his head is shaped a little differently, but he's just like all of us, our head is shaped differently. Number 22, 1815 AD, Father Jose Maria Morelos urged seizure of Creole mines and ranches and was executed for continuing the popular rebellion. Father Morelos says, "May slavery be banished forever, together with the distinction between castes, all remaining equal, so Americans may only be distinguished by vice or virtue." Again, that's something also that Bolivar had said, and also Toussaint Louverture had said in Haiti. Oh, that were true. I think in some circles, in some schools, and in some states at times, we have where people are just distinguished by vice or virtue. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "People will not be judged by the color of their skin, they will be judged by the content of their character." Would that be true? 23, 1821 AD, the Creole military leader, Agustin de Iturbide, united with rebellious peasants to declare Mexican independence from Spain. And there's Iturbide. 24, Iturbide declared himself emperor, rejecting Enlightenment ideas, but Creoles later overthrew him and established a republic. And here you have 1838 AD, Guatemala, El Salvador, Honduras, Nicaragua, and Costa Rica all broke from Mexico, became their own nations. Number 26. In his Constitution of 1857, Benito Juarez tried to protect the natives' freedoms. And look what he did. Juarez did in his Constitution: abolition of slavery, free tuition, freedom of vocation, you can choose your job, freedom of speech, prohibition of torture, power to the people, division of powers, executive, legislative, and judicial. And we first have separation of powers in Rome and in America. Number 27. Despite Juarez's efforts, the Creoles confiscated church lands, and 95% of Mexican peasants remained landless. Number 28. In 1807, Napoleon's forces invaded Portugal, and the royal family fled to Brazil. The royal family of Portugal. So here you have the royal family and their portraits. So you have King Dom João VI from Portugal fleeing to Brazil, and his son, Pedro I. 29, 1821, King Dom João VI returned to Portugal and left his son Pedro I behind to rule Brazil as his regent. Number 30, 1822 AD, revolutionaries proclaimed Pedro the Emperor of Brazil. And Brazil, during that time, was the only monarchy in Latin America. Now we're going to talk about Napoleon. We just mentioned that he's invading Portugal. Let's see what else he does. So following the French Revolution, you have a series of corrupt, bad leaders. There's no justice. There's violence. And Napoleon is very violent and power-hungry. He grew up in Corsica, which is an Italian island. So he wasn't even French himself, actually. So grew up in Corsica, the Italian island. And then the French took over Corsica when he was young. His father made him go to French military school. During the French Revolution, he became a general because of all the battles he won.